If you've been thinking about starting your own meetup group or taking over as organizer for an existing group, this video is for you. If you've been thinking about taking over an existing meetup group, or if you've been thinking about starting your own from scratch, I want to talk to you today about the 3 things that I think are particularly wrong with that platform and why you may want to rethink becoming a meetup group organizer. We're going to talk about the pricing, the problems, and the mistakes. I started my first meetup group back in 2009. And I think back then my monthly fee for being an organizer was probably only around $14 or $15 per month. Okay. So in 2018, I took over an existing group here in Austin. And at that time, the monthly fee for organizing the group was only $19 per month. Okay, so probably in July or August, I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly which month, but in July or August, I got an email from Meetup saying that effective September 2019, my fee for organizing the group was going to go up to $23.99. All right, so I'm not a total cheapskate. I totally understand how businesses work. You have to have those price increases. And I can't remember how long it had been since they said they had a price increase to try to justify, the cost of the monthly membership going up. Okay, cool. Right. So at that time, I had to make a decision. Okay, am I going to continue on with this meetup group where I really hadn't had as much engagement as I had wanted and as much participation, but I had been able to form some really mutually beneficial relationships as a result of being the organizer, right? So after I looked at all the pros and the cons and I weighed all of my options, I decided that it just wasn't worth it. Issue number 1, as a Meetup.com organizer, you don't have any access to any of your group's metrics at that base price tier. Okay. Yes, you do have a dashboard that you can go in and see kind of like just a basic little graph that shows you the number of people who joined your group and the number of people or the percentage of people who have left the group. Outside of that simple little graph, there's really no hard data that you can look at to gauge how you're doing as far as reaching the members of your group. So let me explain that. You can't track interest and engagement outside of live participation, meaning you can't see the people who are actually opening up and reading the emails that you're sending out as an organizer. You don't see any data other than the people who decide to RSVP yes or no to your group. And so for me, if you're going to make me the organizer, you're going to give me this tool, you're going to give me this platform. If you're going up on the price, I need to be able to have access to some kind of information, to some kind of data, so that I can actually see what's going on as far as the activity within the group. Meetup.com does not allow you to do that at all. So to give you an example, with my email service provider that I use, I can actually go back there and see who's actually opening up the emails, how many people opened, how many people it bounced, how many people clicked on the links that I sent. None of that data is available to you as a paid meetup organizer. Huge turnoff for me as I was weighing the options as to whether or not I wanted to continue on as the organizer, okay? The second issue that I had is when I first started my group back in 2009, at that time, you could actually have sponsors at that price tier, okay? So I think when I look back at my dashboard, I probably made about $225 back then, just from different companies reaching out to me saying, hey, we would like to sponsor your group. And what I did with that money is that I used that money to go toward my monthly membership fee as an organizer. Fast forward to 2018. You don't get that benefit anymore at the $19, the bottom price tier. You do not get to show any kind of sponsors over on your sidebar. So I had to work around that when I got my first sponsor, which was a huge sponsor. It was a local co-working space, Meld Co-working, big shout out to Meld, who reached out to me saying, hey, you can come over here and host your events for free. So I wasn't even able to put Meld on our page and highlight them as a sponsor. For the sake of not making this video way too long, I'm going to drop down in the session notes the biggest mistake that I think I made as a meetup organizer and what I would do differently if I were going to start a meetup group today. So go take a look at the session notes so you can find out what that mistake was. Leave your questions and share your feedback down below in the comments, and I will see you in our next session.